If you own a home in Saskatoon, are thinking about buying, or are watching the market wondering where the next big moves are going to happen, this video matters because today I am breaking down 3 Saskatoon neighborhoods that are quietly setting themselves up to explode in 2026. And these are not guesses. These are neighborhoods backed by city growth plans, infrastructure timelines, population trends, and real market data. Some of these might surprise you, and one of them almost nobody is talking about yet. Before we jump in, this is not hype, this is not speculation, this is real data to help understand where Saskatoon is actually growing and why. I'm Conor Palendat, Realtor with Betcher Real Estate Group, and if you need a top producing team to help buy or sell a home, all my contact info is in the description below. Thanks for joining me, and let's get started. Every year, the City of Saskatoon releases detailed growth, planning, and servicing reports along with neighborhood level data, and the SRA releases real estate performance stats. Now, I've gone through all of that and pulled out the areas where momentum is building, demand is increasing, and the pieces are lining up for real upside. Let's start with neighborhood number 1, Brighton. With Brighton, the growth story is already obvious, but the next phase is where things really accelerate. Brighton has been one of the city's fastest growing neighborhoods for several years, but what makes 2026 different is that it is shifting from early development into maturity. According to the city's growth monitoring report, Brighton continues to receive significant residential servicing through 2026 to 2028, meaning roads, utilities, and capacity are already planned and funded to support the next wave of growth. That matters because neighborhoods tend to see their biggest value jumps when they move from new and unfinished to fully functional and desirable. Population growth in Saskatoon is being driven largely by migration, especially international migration, and new residents consistently gravitate towards newer neighborhoods with modern housing, schools, parks, and commercial amenities. Brighton checks every one of those boxes. From a market standpoint, Brighton has seen steady price appreciation, strong absorption, and consistent buyer demand across multiple price points. The neighborhood has transitioned from mostly builders and early adopters to families, move-up buyers, and long-term owners. That creates stability and upward pressure on prices. Emotionally, Brighton appeals to people who want a lifestyle upgrade without jumping into luxury pricing. Modern homes, walkable parks, and growing retail all contribute to that. This feels like the future vibe that buyers are chasing. In 2026, Brighton benefits from being new enough to feel modern, but established enough to feel safe and complete. That is a powerful combination. Now, if you think all the growth is only happening on the edge of the city, this one might catch you off guard. Riversdale is one of the most misunderstood neighborhoods in Saskatoon, and that is exactly why it has so much upside heading into 2026. The city's strategic planning documents place a huge emphasis on infill development, urban intensification, and revitalization of core neighborhoods close to downtown. The reason is simple. Cities grow more efficiently, sustainably, and affordably when they build inward, not just outward. Riversdale sits right in the middle of that strategy. According to city data, Riversdale has a younger population, higher renter concentration, and more affordable housing stock compared to the city average, which historically has kept prices lower. But that same data also shows increasing diversity, investment, and redevelopment pressure. Add in the fact that Riversdale is minutes from downtown, the river, major employment centers, and has already seen meaningful commercial revitalization along 20th Street, you start to see the setup. When cities invest in infill, the surrounding residential areas almost always benefit next. From just a fun perspective, this is the neighborhood that goes from underrated to why didn't we buy here sooner? Creative businesses, restaurants, festivals, and urban culture tend to move first, buyers follow later, prices follow last. Now, Riversdale is not for everyone, but for buyers who value character, location, and upside potential, 2026 could be a breakout year as city policy, infrastructure investment, and private development all intersect. So, if Brighton is the steady growth story and Riversdale is the sleeper, Aspen Ridge is the heavyweight. Aspen Ridge has one of the strongest alignments between city servicing plans, market demand, and buyer psychology going into 2026. The growth monitoring report shows Aspen Ridge continuing to receive substantial residential services through 2028, signaling that the city expects and is preparing for sustained demand. From a numbers standpoint, Aspen Ridge has seen some of the strongest year-over-year price growth among newer neighborhoods, with benchmark prices rising consistently and buyer activity remaining high despite affordability pressures elsewhere. This tells us two things. First, buyers are still willing and able to pay for location, quality, and lifestyle. Second, supply is not outpacing demand, which is critical for price growth. Aspen Ridge also benefits from demographic alignment. According to city data, Saskatoon's population growth is heavily concentrated in family-forming age groups, and Aspen Ridge offers the exact product those buyers want: detached homes, high-quality townhouses, proximity to schools, parks, and the Northeast Commercial Corridor. Emotionally, Aspen Ridge feels aspirational without feeling out of reach. It is where people buy when they feel they are leveling up. That combination of strong city support, proven demand, and emotional pull is why Aspen Ridge tops the list for 2026. What I want you to take away from this is that neighborhoods do not explode by accident. They explode when population growth, infrastructure planning, buyer demand, and market psychology all line up at the same time. Brighton represents stability turning into maturity. Riversdale represents undervalued potential meeting city-backed revitalization. Aspen Ridge represents momentum meeting sustained demand. And the common thread is that Saskatoon is growing faster than most people realize, and that growth is not being spread evenly across the city. If you're buying, selling, or just watching the Saskatoon real estate market closely, understanding where growth is heading is one of the biggest advantages you can have. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments which neighborhood you think is next. And if you want a more personalized look at where your budget or property fits into Saskatoon's growth story for 2026, reach out anytime. I'm always happy to help. Thanks again for watching, and have a great day.